what you said. I know I've heard it all before, at least a million times. I'm not one to...
Hey guys, what is up? How are you doing? So today I have a story time video for you. Very excited to be doing this because I love doing story time videos. I love sitting down and talking to you guys, and yeah, it's gonna be about my awkward Tinder date. Also, if you hear like random things like that, it's because I don't think I've officially announced this like on my channel. I think I've mentioned her on like Instagram and especially on Snapchat, but I got a little kitty. Her name is oh goodness, we were like really white. Her name is Wednesday and she's beautiful and the sweetest kitty cat ever. Do you want to say hi? Do you want to say hi? Say hi. Ooh, pretty kitty. Alright, so back to the main subject. I'm not entirely sure that this counts as a true Tinder date because I had met this guy a couple of times before we matched on Tinder. I met him through a mutual friend that we have, and I remember the first time that I met him, I thought he was super cute, and I mean, he kind of looked kind of frat boyish, but still cute. So we match on Tinder, we're talking on there a little bit, we exchange phone numbers, kind of have like some flirty text going on. Nothing like explicit or weird, I can't do that. I think we had been like kind of texting for like a day or two, or like maybe 2 days, I don't really remember. And he wanted to meet up, so he asked me to meet him for drinks downtown. So this Tinder date was literally kind of in the midst of my like sad phase that I had been going through for the last couple of months, and I think I had just gotten back from New York. It was like maybe like I think it was like almost exactly a week later that I went on this Tinder date, and I really only went because, one, I thought he was cute, and I did think he was gonna be a really cool guy and that maybe it would have turned out better, but also because I had this crush on a boy that I worked with over the summertime, and he basically just wasn't talking to me, and I didn't really know what to think about it, so I was kind of just trying to like distract myself. And it's actually funny because I went on this Tinder date on Thursday, and literally the next day, Friday, I had seen, like I went and I hung out with the guy that I had a huge crush on. He finally texted me, was talking to me, asked me to come out. Bunch of stuff happened, and now we don't talk at all. Like, he will not talk to me, so boys. If you want to hear about that, let me know. That's a whole nother story, but we're gonna come back to the Tinder date. So anyways, I go out and I'm meeting him down there, and notice there's like a lot of clouds coming into the area. Didn't know that it was supposed to rain or torrential downpour. So I literally park in the parking garage, the only one that's down there in the area, and the walk to the bar is not that far. Like, it's just like maybe 2 or 3 blocks. Like, it's not insane, like it's totally doable, but literally right as I parked, I get out of the car and it's literally downpouring. The sky is crying, the area is flooding, and I do not own an umbrella. So I called my best friend in the parking garage. I was like, I cannot believe this is happening to me. This would happen to me. It's downpouring. I curled my hair for this. Like, my hair is not gonna withstand this tsunami outside. So luckily, I had a winter jacket in the back of my car for whatever reason. So I literally took it and I like put it over my head and like raced down the street to get to the bar. So I get there and he is already sitting down, and it's just like, I'm just, oh my God. Makes me like cringe just like thinking back on this, because it just I don't like to. He just does this to me. Like, I literally just ugh. So I sit down and we talk a little bit, and I have a couple drinks, he has a couple drinks, trying to like calm my nerves. It's not too bad, like we're making a little bit of conversation. So I was telling him about this curse that is on me, which is the fact that every time I say something, the opposite happens. So there was a big game, I don't think we were in the World Series yet, but we were coming up to it, like we were competing in the last couple of games, like to get there, and I was like, well, we're not gonna win this game, this is gonna be the end of the season, we're not gonna go to the World Series, if we do, we're gonna lose the World Series. Like, I was basically just trying to like reverse psychology the situation in a way, if that makes sense. So I was basically saying that we weren't gonna win, so hopefully that we would, which by the way, we did. You're welcome. Do you see what I'm saying though? It's a true curse. I have to be very careful with my words, guys. So anyways, I'm telling him that, and he was like, oh, well, you're lucky and gorgeous. And I was just like, what? Like, I actually didn't hear him, and he had to say it again, and I regretted it instantly because I don't know why, but like cheesy comments like that just make me want to like yak. I don't know why, but they just do. I cannot stand it when people give me like super corny like compliments like that. It just really bothers me for some reason, and it will turn me off instantly. Like, it's really weird. Like, people can, like, guys can be genuine and be like serious, like giving me a compliment, but if I'm not into him, or like it's just like overwhelming, like an amount of compliments, I'm just like, stop, I'm gonna puke. I don't know why I'm like this. I mean, if it comes from the right person, like had it come from this guy I liked, I would have appreciated it, but having come from Tinder guy, I was just like, stop. We were talking like through the night, and I think I mentioned, like, we were talking about music somewhere in there, and I mentioned One Direction because what's new? This is how I date, guys. I bring up 1D. They're the only D I want. Okay. Anyways, so I was talking about their music, and he was like, oh, well, I mean, I guess I'll listen to it. I mean, kind of like for you type of thing. Like, I'll listen to it if you listen to some of my stuff, like my favorite songs. And I was like, okay, fine. And I thought this was just gonna be like a lead in to like maybe another time we'd hang out. But he was like, no, you should come back to my place. And I was like, And I was kind of buzzed, not gonna lie. So I was kind of feeling a little bit more ballsy, and I was like a little bit more confident. So I was like, okay, fine, whatever. And I really thought that we were gonna like play music because I was super excited to like play 1D and like jam out. But we get back to his place, and he lives with his parents, and that's fine. Like, I mean, I live with mine, it's not a big deal. But the thing is that it's like probably 10 or 11, I think, at night, and we walk up like to the door, and his mom is like sitting in the recliner, can clearly see me, and I mean, not that that's a problem, but it's just like super awkward. Like, this is not how you meet the mom. It's just not. And so he like scurries, like he like hurries us like downstairs to like his room because he's in the basement. So I was like, okay, cool. I'm like literally trying not to puke. So we're sitting down, and he of course turns the lights like down a little bit. Like, there's like maybe one lamp on in the room and the television, and I'm just like sitting there awkwardly with my legs crossed. I was like, how do I get out of here? I need an excuse. I almost texted like somebody on my phone to be like, call me, act like you're dying, because I was just like, why did I do this? Why, what got me here? I'm sitting there with my legs crossed, and he's got Netflix on. I was just like, no. And anyways, he's got Netflix on, and he's playing some Comedy Central thing, and he does another weird line, and he keeps like kind of putting his arm like around me, and he's like massaging my shoulder, and I'm just like literally looking at it out of the corner of my eye. I'm just like, get off of me, because it was just so obvious like he was trying to work it, and I'm just like not feeling it. Anyways, so he makes a comment. He was like, I don't really think that we're paying attention to this. And I was like, no, not really. And I was like mainly thinking of it like in a sassy way, because I was like, yeah, because you keep like trying to grope my shoulder over here. And and he's like, well, then maybe we can focus on something else. And like before I know it, literally he is like on me, his mouth is on me, and like right before it happened, I was like I saw his face coming towards, I was like, oh, and then he's kissing me, and I was just like, what the fuck? And so I was like, oh, we're kissing, and it's kind of weird. I think, yeah, I started laughing. I started laughing in between, and I was like, I couldn't do it. I was like, stop, this is no. And I felt so awkward. And so I don't really remember like what happened after that, but like he started to like kiss me again like several minutes later, I think. Like, I don't remember if he said anything or if I said anything, but like he started to kiss me again, and we're kissing on the couch, and he just like starts feeling up my boobs. And it was just like, so like, it felt like 7th grade. I was like, what are you doing? I mean, I almost started laughing again. He's just like really like all over my boobs, and I'm just like, what the fuck? And Jesus, he is like trying to be like low-key about it, but he's like trying to guide my hand down towards his, and I was like, no, stay away from me. So I'm just like, no. Literally my brain at the time. We stopped kissing, and that was when I was like, you know, nothing else is gonna happen, right? And he was like, yeah, I know, like there's no pressure. Normally I ask beforehand, and I was just like, okay. So he throws on a Hot Rod from Netflix, which I had never seen, and I was like trying, like I was thinking it like the entire time. I'm just super awkward in those situations. I don't know how to get out of like leaving somebody, or like I just don't know how to make up an excuse to like get myself out of certain situations, I guess. I'm just super awkward that way. And so the entire time I'm sitting there thinking, I was like, maybe I could tell him this. Maybe this sounds realistic. And then I'm just like, well, maybe if I can text somebody and like call them, or like have them call me. But then I was like, the room is dark. He's clearly gonna think it's obvious that like, oh, you texted somebody, then threw your phone in the bag, and then it started ringing. Like, please. So I was like, I don't want to be obvious. I just don't know how to get out of here. I'm like stuck in this dude's basement. His mom is upstairs. I sat through the entire movie, and literally as soon as it was over, I was like, yeah, I got a Zayn. We walk upstairs and his mom is still like asleep, I think, in the recliner, and he has like this huge ass, like a couple of like huge ass dogs, and he's like basically blocking like his mom like from seeing me. It seems like he's like trying to hold the dogs back, but like I literally can't see anything past him, and he's just like kind of pushing me out the door and like closes it, doesn't like walk me to the car. It's just like, I mean, not that I didn't, I mean, I didn't mind. I was just like, I was honestly like running to the car. I was like, please, I just want to get home. Yeah, it was a huge relief to like get in my car. I was like, so I think it was like the next day. I hadn't really heard anything from him, which I didn't really mind because I wasn't interested in him past, like, yeah, I just wasn't. And, but I went back on Tinder and I was checking, because at the time Tinder like would tell you when they were like last active, and I couldn't find him. I couldn't find our conversation. I was like, oh my God, this bitch unmatched me. I was just like, okay, whatever. It was like kissing air anyways, so. But yeah, basically that was the start to a very crazy weekend for me, and that was only Thursday. That is it for my awkward Tinder date video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and laughed a little bit with me. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up down below. Please subscribe to my channel if you aren't already, to stay up to date with new videos coming out. I hope that you guys enjoyed this. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye guys.
I'm so sick of that same old